here.
You are wonderful. What did you want to look at? Or
No. I just want to give you a big slobbery virtual kiss.
Oh.
I can't tell you how excited I am about your system. I can't tell you how much it's meant for me. I made $23,000 in about a month's time with your system. I do not have one single position that I've lost money on.
Oh, you're too
I
nice.
am just stunned. I am a moon lover.
It is now time for The Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, Money Masters. Hi, folks. Good Monday morning to you. Welcome. I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge. Thank you so much for joining me. This is absolutely my favorite time of the day. Finally back with you after a nice weekend. Of course, if you were in Florida, and we were telling folks to come on down, hopefully you didn't listen to us. You didn't come down this weekend because it was wet and soggy. Of course, the beautiful part about the state of Florida is it's so long that there were places where it was warm and sunny. It just wasn't going to be in the central Florida region, if you will. We had a ton of rain, but I know that all that weather is just kind of moving north, and we're going to be back to our beautiful fall weather, if you will. And hope you had a great weekend out there. If you were a sports lover, this is a great time of the year. We had hockey season open up. You've got college football. You've got NFL football, baseball. Of course, the rain kind of interrupted some of that as well. And then, of course, we should be having basketball, right? You figure you've got all of the sports pretty much in high gear. If you love college sports, since we get so many channels, so many channel options, you can watch all of the college sports that are going on, not just football, whether it's volleyball or lacrosse or whatever the season might be. It's a great time if you're a sports lover. But, on the basketball thing, you talk about, and I'm not going to pick sides here. The reality is that each of us need to do whatever it is that we can, for our fellow man, especially during woman, especially during tough times. And, there's no question that we're living in tough times. And, these guys, the team owners, the players, doesn't look like they're going to be able to get together. It's not so much their lives, I don't really care that much about, what their deal. I mean, they're making plenty of money. Both sides are making plenty of money. You would think that they could get together. But how about all of the indirect costs of a league going on strike, if you will? You've got all of the concession folks, all of the people that look forward to that additional income, all the people in sports, if you will, broadcasting, how that impacts their life, impacts probably the sports book, if you will, in Vegas and elsewhere around the country, has a huge rippling effect because then that is going to take away from production of hot dogs and beer and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of amazing that, at a time like this, that folks like that can't come together. And so, anyway, I'm not going to focus on that, but certainly it's all about change, folks. I mean, life is continuing to change. If you're living in the north, you probably are seeing the leaves change, from green to all of the beautiful autumn color pictures. In fact, I'd love some email photos. If you live up in the north and you've got a great photo of something outside your house, don't grab something off the internet. I want something live, if you will. I like to look at a great photo. I love to be able to change my state. That's really what it's all about. It's really all about when you're ready to come on and take some action, make some type of decision. You really should be able to put yourself in a peak state. For me, when I begin this show, I'm doing that by just take a look at my favorite place on the planet. When I do that, it's impossible for me to not have a positive expectancy. And that's really what life is all about. It's all about change. And, nothing could for me, be able to replicate what change is all about, or just how young at heart it is that each of us need to be. This weekend, I got a chance to spend some time with my granddaughter. She's 3 years old, and you talk about a bundle of energy, but it's so great, to hear that laugh. And folks, we're all kids deep inside, and it's just a matter of bringing the kid out in you. And in fact, when you talk about being kids, one of the things that we really focus on around here at TFNN. And by the way, folks, you can watch this live on TigerTV, and I really would love you to do that because you get to see our screens, my screen. You get to see it live. We're taking a look at a stock. In a few minutes, we're going to go to Sam in Philadelphia. We'll take a look at the TBT, whatever it is you might be trading. You want to go ahead, and it's a call-in show. You can give us a call. 877-927-6648. Love to hear from you. We've got raving fans all over the world, and we like to believe that what we can do is we can give you our honest feedback, live honest feedback as to what we see that's going on in the market or what it is that you're trading, because we'll take a look at price, we'll take a look at volume, we'll take a look at patterns, because that's really our artwork. But when I was talking about kids and talking about each of us need to be a kid at heart, this is called the money game. And what kids are always great at is playing the money game. And when I take a look at my granddaughter, I would have her run to me. She would be Superman, if you will. I'd pick her up, throw her up in the air, if you will, twirl her around, and as a 3-year-old would say, let's do it again. And she had so much in her, she would want to do it again. Well, what happens, that was a pattern, right? A pattern that she loved. That was a pattern of a game. This is the money game. And in the money game, there's absolute patterns. There are what I will call non-random patterns in a lot of the equities, a lot of the ETFs, exchange-traded funds that you trade or that you should trade or that you should learn how to trade, because leaving your money just parked in an asset on a buy and hold strategy is absolutely going to get you the same results that you had 14, 13, 12 years ago, which is basically you're in some mud for the most part. You're in the same place that you were before, and we don't want to see that, because you can make great returns on your money. You can put your money to work. You can actually put your money to work, and there's no time in life, in my opinion, where there are so many tools, so much information that we can access, where you can put that to work and you can start making your way to a financial freedom. And again, I love to define things, folks, and when we talk about our charts and we're talking about swing points, I'm going to always do my best to define things. And if you have questions, you give me a call or you can send me an email, steve@tfn.com. But defining wealth, folks, that is just simply when you've got your investment capital over here, all of these little folks getting ready to work hard for you while you're at work or whatever it is that you're doing with your day, and they're spinning off enough income to pay for what your monthly expenses are, or some portion of your monthly expenses. And it's a great thing to be able to teach your children. It's a great thing to be able to teach them about being able to be financially independent, because there's no better time than when they're young, when their costs, when their overhead is low. Just think back to yourself. If your parents could have taught you when you were coming out of college, or maybe you didn't go to college, whatever it was, when you were coming out and you were going on your own and all you had was maybe your rent payment, maybe your car payment, and some food, but your costs were pretty low. Wouldn't it have been nice to have understood that there was this game, this money game? When you talk about being a kid, kids, we love to play games. As adults, we love to watch people play games. What I want you to do is I want you to become an active participant in your money management skills. I want you to understand, when we take a look at charts, that there are non-random patterns that set up. One that I'm going to pull up on the screen here is a Gartley sell pattern. We have Gartley sell, Gartley buy patterns. That's this little blue version with some wings on it. Looks like a butterfly, if you will. We talk about butterfly patterns, and that's not what this is here. This is just simply a Gartley pattern. And these patterns here, folks, I'll put them on my screen. This is the NASDAQ future. If I just go ahead and pull up the dollar index here, we probably got a dollar index chart that shows a Gartley sell pattern. That's what we're looking at here. This is the dollar index. The dollar index is down pretty big today. We've got the dollar index down to $0.05 right now as we speak. That's a pretty big move. If we go over to the currency market, over to the euro here, folks, what you'll see is you will see the Gartley buy pattern on the euro US dollar. Let me bring that in here so you can see that. And these are patterns that we teach around here. These are patterns that we trade. What we do is we're patient. We know that what we want to do is we want to get our money in the game when the probability is on our side. And we do that by taking a look at these patterns. We do that by taking a look at price and volume. We do that by taking a look at what's going on inside the universe. What's going on inside the universe, such as moon cycles, such as planetaries, index alignments, if you will. And folks, we got a lot going on this week. We've got a full moon that comes in on Wednesday. You've also got the full moon at apogee, which means it's the furthest point in this cycle here from the Earth. That is usually a powerful turn point. Then 3 weeks from now, or 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from Wednesday, we've got a huge planetary index date. That's on October 26th. And at the same time that we've got that, we've got the new moon at perigee. Another double lunar combination, folks. That's where you've got the moon also at the closest point to you. You know, when it looks the brightest, when it looks the biggest. So lots of energy. It's Monday morning. I hope you've got lots of energy as well. Let's go over to our first caller, Sam in Philadelphia. Sam, thanks for calling.
Oh, good morning, Steve. It's a pleasure to talk to you. First-time caller to your show, but not to Mr. Tom O'Brien show, and I'm so proud to be calling today.
Well, we're happy to hear your voice and get things started for us.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to take a look at the TBT?
Yep, I'm in it around 1920, 1930. So
you're in it. At what price?
19.20.
19.20. Okay, so you got in that on Thursday. It looks like perhaps, or maybe held that a little bit longer. So the TBT, right now what you've got is you've got that closed at 20.08. Let's go ahead and see if I can find out what this is trading at right now in the markets. Looks like it's trading at 2051. So 2051 is going to be opening right up at this 0.786 area. I don't know if you're watching us on TigerTV, Sam, are you?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So if you're looking at my screen here, then what I'm showing you first is the retracement area from the swing point high, which is the September 28 time frame. And a swing point is really, when you're taking a look at a chart, you're taking a look at where there's a turn in the marketplace. And that happens to be the highest point here, the highest peak, if you will. And so that's on September 28th. The high there is 21.20, the low of $20.70. You did 10.5 million shares. Now, the low on the TBT came in on October 4th, and that low was down at $17.99, 12 million shares. So what we do is we take a look at the measurement tool of Fibonacci retracement. There's basically three areas we look at, 382, 618, or 786, or there's three areas that I look at. Now, that 0.786, so it's trading right now at 2051, and what that's telling me, Sam, is that is going to come in here, and that's going to test the swing point from September 28th. So that means that what we should see is you should see the TBT get up to that 2070 mark. If you come into the 2070 mark and you stay within 2070 to 2120, what you'll want to do is you'll want to check later, later in the day, maybe after a couple hours of trading, and see what the volume is. Because if the volume is more than 10 million shares, that's telling you that the TBT wants to at least go attack that 2120 area. Okay, and then what I would do is I would start moving my stop up. I'd let the market take you out. You might want to move your stop up to 1997 and then keep moving it up every so often. How's that for you?
Perfect, because I'm off today, so I can do that whenever I look at it.
Perfect, and we're on most of the day. Okay. So thanks for calling and kicking things off, folks. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Studies show that 10,000 hours is what it takes to achieve outstanding results, unless you use the power of leverage. The power of leverage, folks, is key to attaining outstanding success in your trading and investing. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, and author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter. Let me take your trading to a new level, a whole new level. Let me teach you the secrets that the real money masters use each and every day to produce consistent financial results. On top of that, I'll transform your life in ways you never thought imaginable. You'll overcome hurdles like an Olympian. Here's the beauty. I'm so certain that I'll transform your life. I'm giving you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Time, folks, something you'll never get back. The time is now to take action. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and order Mastering Probability. It'll change your life forever.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments and Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio. Therefore, we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Don't forget, you can test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back. Good Monday morning to you. Thanks for joining me. I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, and right now you've got the Dow futures. Let's see, where are those things at? Those are up 127 points. The ES Mini contract up 14. The NASDAQ futures up 30, and the Russell futures up 11. And I love our listeners. And I love our callers. The caller during the radio commercial, if you caught that, where it was like a kid in a candy store. That's what I want you to really envision yourself, because when you take a look at the money game and when you take a look at being a kid, this really is like a kid in a candy store. Why do you think it is that I'm so jazzed up about what it is that I do? I mean, I get to do what I love. I get to be able to maybe help somebody else out, teach them something, that's really what it's all about. And one of the things, when I take a look at my granddaughter and just playing around with her and being a kid, just how important it is for you to be that kid in the candy store too. Look, I know how scary it is and how fearful folks are with regard to money and losing money. But fear, folks, that's just simply false evidence appearing real. That's all it is. And what you've got to do is you've got to be that kid in the candy store. You've got to be that kid that's willing to take that leap of faith, that person's going to be there to grab them. Well, that's me, because that's what I do. That's what I do if you are on the fence with regard to coming back into the market and figuring out what it is that you want to do, how you want to make your money grow. I'm that person that you can run to, that you can jump to. I'm going to grab you. I'm going to teach you the money game. I'm going to teach you the rule of 1%. I'm going to teach you how you can risk 1% of your capital and you can make great returns, have low risk, understand position sizing. I will take care of you. Now, the great news is I get to take care of you for 30 days, unconditional money-back guarantee. So there's no risk on your part. There's no risk. You don't even have to play the money game for real if you want. You can just go ahead and play it in a paper trading account. I'd say play it for real, because that's what you're supposed to do, because we're making money. and that's what you need to do. You need to understand probability management, and just like I was there to grab my granddaughter, I'll be there to grab you, and I'll be there to grab our next caller, Victor, that's on the line. Victor, thanks for calling in. How you doing today?
Yeah, how does that XLF look? Is it you got a gap up today? What do you do with that thing? It's been gapping all over the place, like Goldman Sachs and all that.
Well, I mean, the XLF, the XLF, give me a second here. I think I've got that on the screen here. So it closes at 1183 on Friday right now. It's printing out at 1208. Are you in the XLF, or what do you look? No,
I was looking to get into it, but I don't like buying the gaps. Don't they say all gaps have to be filled?
They do. We talk about gaps. I like to refer to them as windows because, I like to link the known to the unknown. People don't necessarily know what a gap is, but if I tell them you've got an open window in your house, what are you going to do? They'll say, I'm going to go close it. And that's what happens. That's what happens in the marketplace. You have these open gaps, if you will, where there's no price. It's an open window. That's an actual term. That's a Japanese candlestick term, if you will. And open windows usually, almost always, get closed. And so, you got to be careful of that. In this case here, what I'd love to be able to teach you how to do is I'd love you to be able to teach you the patience of waiting until the probability management gets on your side here. The better time to have bought the XLF, if you will, would have been as it was making an expansion pattern low on October the 4th. You've got volume down there. On October 4th, you've got 223 million shares. You've been going up on slightly increasing volume. You would have expected the XLF. Right now, what it's really doing, Victor, is it's testing that swing point from September 27th. I don't know if you're watching this on TigerTV.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Okay, perfect. So let's take a look at what the XLF was signaling to us on Friday, the first thing. So the first thing is this area here where I've got my cursor is a swing point. That's September 27th. You can see where the market moved up there, and then it made it started to fall off a cliff, if you will, started to make a market turn. So that becomes our swing point. That becomes one of the areas that we want to mark, and that will give us a lot of information. On that day, you did 140 million shares. Now, you came into that on Thursday, October 6th. You came into that with 139 million shares, so about the same shares. The following day, on Friday, you actually came into it with 153 million shares. Yes, it sold off, came down, but because you came into that with 153 million shares, it was telling you that its work up there at that swing point was not necessarily done. What you want to do if you were going to play the XLF is you want to start playing that. Now, if you take a look on the downside, if you will, on October 4th, you've got a swing point with 223 million shares. That swing point wants to get tested. And, you'd prefer...
What swing point? Like what number? What price?
Well, on October 4th, you had a fairly wide range. You went from a low of 10.95 to a high of 11.77, so about an 80-cent move there. So you want to be patient, on any of your trades. You consider potentially selling the XLF. If it gets above that swing point from the 27th of 1260 on lighter than 140 million shares, we're going to get some information today on that. But, Victor, it's so good to hear your voice. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. 877-927-6648.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in the equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this trader's market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com, under newsletter, hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
Homeowners, did you know a burglar could break into your home and get away in just 5 minutes? A locked door may not be enough to keep a thief out of your home. Think about what you can lose, and then think about this. Now you can get a free security system monitored by ADT, the leader in home security. Pick up your phone now and get free hardware, free medical and fire alert, and free activation. It's an $850 value. Just call Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, at 1-800-949-8207. you'll get 24-hour protection, and there's no cost for parts or activation. So call now about a free security system monitored by ADT. Call 1-800-949-8207. $99 installation charge. 36-month monitoring agreement at $35.99 a month. Call for terms and conditions to this offer and protect your home license numbers. Call now. 1-800-949-8207. That's 1-800-949-8207.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to thefrontoftfnn.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It absolutely is, folks. Welcome back, 877-927-6648. It's a great Monday morning, and we are off to the races. And in the lead is the Dow. It's up 183. The S&P up 22. Composite up 44. Small caps up 12. Everything is green except for Shanghai and the dollar index. The dollar index right now down 1.08. It's a fairly big move. So when you have the dollar index, you know, our markets, you've got the correlation that is back in play here. Our markets are valued in dollars. Gold is valued in dollars. And so as the U.S. dollar index is pulling back, the markets are going to move higher. So, you know, the question is, so where's the dollar index going? And what you're taking a look at on my screen here is a Gartley sell pattern that set up on the, it actually set up really on the, let's see here, on September the 26th, moved back just a little bit, then moved higher until October 3rd time frame and October 4th. Almost a failed pattern, but it held that 80-43 area. And when we take a look at this, folks, we're not trying to be exact. This is about being in a range. When you take a look at these Gartley patterns, for example, when you're taking a look at a Gartley sell pattern, in this case here, we're going to take a look at the dollar index. The Gartley sell pattern, if you're looking at this on TigerTV, I've got my cursor going around the 0.786 area. That's the retracement from the swing high over here on January 11th all the way down to the low that we made in the 72 area. So that retracement tool would have 0.382, 0.618, 0.786. Well, there was a Gartley pattern that actually set up at the 0.618 area. It's probably right in here. The dollar index backed off, and then it moved up to the 0.786 area, just a little bit beyond that as well. And when you fail in one area, what I mean by a failure is if it doesn't hold, in this case, it means you're going to go to the next higher level. Well, what I love to trade is I love to be able to trade the .618s or 786 Gartleys. Now, if you're trading a .618, when you take a look at your stop, knowing that it can go beyond that, because we're not trying to find the exact tick, you don't want to do that. That would be like chasing perfection, which is completely unattainable. You don't want to do that. If you're trying to do that, you shouldn't be trading. What you want to be able to do is you want to be able to have a range. You want to understand position sizing. You want to understand when it is that you should come in. Your entry point is not the most important part of trading. Your money management is the most important part of trading. And you'll hear that from me all the time. You'll hear that at TFNN. I want to teach you that. In fact, if you're just listening to the show, I'd love you to go to Channel 5. We've got an archived 30-minute Mastering Probability workshop that we did. You'll start to get a feel for what it is that I'm talking about here. But you want to understand, you know, when you miss at one level, you're going to go to the next. Well, it's just like riding an elevator. If you were visiting us here, you'd probably get off maybe first on floor 382. Then you'd come up to our floor, which is 618. And if you miss that floor, you'd go up to .786. There's other levels above that. There's the move of the move. That's where you'd get all the way back to the high here in January. I can tell you that the dollar index is headed that way. It's even headed to the level up above that, which is an expansion level. In this case here, and take a look at the dollar index, because of this Gartley, and it is working, what I typically see happen on a Gartley, and I say typically, I mean like 90+% of the time, you will at least do a .382 retracement of your low swing point to your high swing point. That's what we call an A-B-C-D pattern here. It doesn't have to be an equals A-B equals C-D. It can be A to B. The C to D can be 1, maybe 1.272, maybe 1.618 of the length of that ABC AB pattern. In this case here, the low that we're showing is in that 72.86, the high up at 80.43. If you take a look in red here, the area where the dollar index should first give us some information is when it gets back to the 77.50 to 77.79. You're trading at 78.03. Why that range? Because that's the .382 of the larger move, and the 70.79 is simply the 382 of the C to D leg. 877-927-6648. You got the Dow up 200, S&P's up 24. We'll be right back, folks.
Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Studies show that 10,000 hours is what it takes to achieve outstanding results, unless you use the power of leverage. The power of leverage, folks, is key to attaining outstanding success in your trading and investing. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, and author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter. Let me take your trading to a new level, a whole new level. Let me teach you the secrets that the real money masters use each and every day to produce consistent financial results. On top of that, I'll transform your life in ways you never thought imaginable. You'll overcome hurdles like an Olympian. Here's the beauty. I'm so certain that I'll transform your life. I'm giving you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Time, folks. Something you'll never get back. The time is now to take action. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and order Mastering Probability. It'll change your life forever. At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
Yeah, I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by South American Silver Corporation. For more information, just click the South American Silver Corporation banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Thanks so much for joining us, and great lineup for you today. Following this show, you've got Tom and myself doing the Money Masters show. I absolutely love doing that show. And then in the on-deck circle, we've got Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento up to hit a homer right after that. Then we've got David White is the backup band, or the warm-up band for the Tom O'Brien Show from 4 to 6. Just absolutely great programming that we've got here. I had a chance to use David's new software over the weekend, the Art of Timing the Trade, or the Art of the Chart. I'm not sure what the final name is going to be, but absolutely phenomenal software, folks. I mean, this is something, if you are in the market for software, you're not sure what to do, sit tight. Don't do anything. In this case here, wait. I think it'll be available here in the very near future. Absolutely excellent software application. And, I use that as one of my trading tools. I don't have it on my screen right now because I've got enough memory usage going on here right now that it'll just simply bomb, and then, wouldn't be able to pull up a chart that you'd want to look at. So, got the Dow up 210, and the S&P's up 24, and you talk about being up on air. Oh, folks, this is not a good sign. You've got a big move like this, but you don't have any participation, with any real big buyers in here, any real big fund buyers right now. So this is not really a good sign here. What I've got up on my screen is just simply the Qs, which are basically have been the strongest index out here for quite a while. And if we just simply, this is just a 5-minute chart, and you can see the volume that we've got out here today. Nothing significant just yet. You can see the volume at the close at 4 o'clock on Friday, where you had 706,000 shares. This morning you had some decent volume, if you will, right off the bat. You had 454,000 shares. You're not anywhere near that. You're now down around 177,000 shares. So, this is going to need some more volume, some more conviction, or when this balloon pops, folks, it's going to pop and it's going to let out a bunch of air quickly, and I don't want it to take you along. I want you to make sure that you've got stops in place. Let the market take you out if you're long. Which is a great thing. If we take a look here at the indexes, I've got the S&P up on my screen, and you're going to see this blue horizontal line. It's a trend line, if you will, that the S&P has been in going back into the July time frame, July 21st time frame, July 22nd time frame, and you can see what the S&P, the SPX has done is it's actually hit that today. I was calling for the S&P to make a 0.786 retracement, which was in this 1172 area. We did that actually on Friday and closed a little bit lower. It looks like what it wants to do is maybe get up and test the top of the swing point, the 1195 area, but it is right in on this trend line. So it'll be real interesting to see how this responds here over the next several hours, possibly coming into the full moon that we've got on Wednesday the 12th. So, folks, the volume is not out here. So I want you to be very, very, very careful, because when you don't have the volume, and we do have the volume at the bottom, we absolutely have the volume on the bottom here. And the bottom that I'm talking about is October the 4th. So you got to be very, very, very careful when you see an open like this. When you see an open window, if you will, and we haven't had a gap up, okay? So there was not a gap up, and you can take a look at that when you take a look at, did it move up from Friday's close? Absolutely. But a gap, folks, is where you've got an open area where there is no price. And if we take a look at the SPX, the S&P 500 daily, there's no gap up. Just simply has moved right up to the top of that trend line, and so be very, very careful out here. Don't believe what it is that you might see on the screen. Believe what it is that you see on this screen here, the charts, and make sure that when you've got volume, when you've got price moving up, you want to see participation, you want to see the volume behind it. Let's go to Brian in Massachusetts. Brian, thanks for calling.
Morning, Steve. Hope you had a good weekend. Thanks for taking my call.
I had a great weekend, except for all the rain, but it gave me an opportunity to just kind of relax, play with my granddaughter, work on a newsletter, work on getting ready for my Wednesday webcast. And how about you? What'd you do for the weekend?
Went to the Pats game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was about 85 degrees yesterday. I think a record high in Massachusetts.
Oh, that's great. That's great. A great game?
Yeah, it was a great game. They played the Jets.
Yeah, good. Now, the Pats, what's their record right now?
4-1.
4-1, and the Jets are what, 2-3 maybe? Or?
You got it, yep.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Hey, nothing like going to a football game.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a good time. You wanted to take a look at the SLV?
Please.
Okay, and where are you at in that? Are you long, short, just looking to get in? What's your thoughts there, Brian?
Well, I heard Tom, when you were talking about it on Friday with one of the gentlemen, Tom said to get out of it, the man owning the SLV.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if silver is a short here or not.
Not yet. What you've got to do here is you've got to at least wait for silver to get back and test and I'm looking at the silver contract right now. So before you go short, what you'd like to see is it test the September 27th swing point. The high out there was 33.58. Let me go ahead and pull up the SLV chart, since that's probably the one that you're looking at. Are you watching this on TigerTV?
Yes.
Okay. So right now where we're trading here is we're still inside that same September 27th swing point. That's where I've got my cursor right now. And the low on that is 30.57. The high is 32.61. It had 64 million shares. Now, when we came into that on Thursday, you came in that with 37 million shares. When you came into it on Friday, you got 32 million shares. So, you definitely have some lighter volume. You've got to let it at least test the high. I would prefer to see it at least test the high of Friday, which is a 31.72, and better yet, the high of September 27th, the 32.61. If you can do that on lighter volume, we're talking a little bit about these gaps or these open windows. You can see you got a huge open window there. It would be really nice, to fire away and go short after silver, test that area. And probably the ultimate test maybe for you here is just simply to let it get about to 32.55, because you had 97 million shares on the way down on September 23rd. And what that would do for you, Brian, is that would just give you a better reward to risk trade, in my opinion. Okay?
I appreciate it. Thanks.
You bet. Thanks for calling, and enjoy the game. The next game that you go to, folks, 877-927-6648. When we get back, we'll go to Phil in Boston. We'll take a look at gold. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be right back.
It's better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Are you looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618 88888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed, with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. My new book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, is for sale at Amazon.com for only $18.40.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Welcome back, folks. 877-927-6648. Thanks so much for joining me and kicking your Monday morning off with me. I really appreciate you being here. I know the value of your time. And you've got the dollar down 1.15, 115. You've got the Dow up 231. S&P's up 26, 27. You've got the composite up 53, the Russell up 14, and just before we go to our next caller, Phil, I have all kinds of charts on my screens, so many different workspaces that I use, and as we were going to the dollar chart, I saw I had an XAU chart up here, a weekly XAU, and it shows a nice Gartley buy pattern. Now, I had put this chart together probably back, I'm going to guess, in the May time frame. May-June time frame. And what I saw there was this Gartley buy pattern on the XAU. Now, the projection here, and I want you to understand these Fibonacci expansion and contraction numbers, and what you really love to see is you love to be able to see an expansion of 1.618, because that's where the rubber band has really, really wound up, and it's a good place where if you can get an expansion of a 1.618, coming into around that 0.786 area. In this case here, on the XAU, it was actually a 0.707. We also had an AB equals CD in the C to D leg here, folks, and that was projected at 172.74. The 1.618 expansion was right at 172.87. And what was wild was I pulled this thing up, and the last week, folks, what the XAU got down to, the week of October 7th, got down to 171.27. You really want to get your, you want to add these patterns to your toolbox, or you want to go ahead and subscribe to newsletters where we talk about or we trade off of Gartley's, whether that's Tom's, Larry's, or myself. We're here to aid you, help you make some money. So let's go to Phil in Boston. Phil, thanks for calling.
Yeah, that dollar might be setting up for a big rise to the upside.
Look, in my opinion, it absolutely is. I think it's got just a little bit more work. It might only have, maybe another 20 ticks or so, maybe 20 to 30, 40 ticks, which would still put some nice juice in the market here the rest of the day or today and tomorrow, whatever it might be. But, boy, that volume, when I put up the opening range, which
scary, huh?
Scary. Yeah. When I looked at that, I said, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, let me tell you something about these things. I chased gap ups like this before, and I waited like 1,000 S&P points. You can get croaked chasing these gap ups, but the odds favor that they get filled.
Oh yeah,
gap up like this. I mean, it's like 90% it gets filled, but you're not dealing. I mean, if this happened to gold and gold had a $100 gap up, it's 99.9% that it gets filled because gold is as strong as anything I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but when the market is pretty weak, actually. I mean, it's as weak as anything. So these moves are not. I mean, nobody can figure these moves when they go up with no volume and they hold the price for a while. But eventually they're going to come back. When it comes back, it crumbles fast.
Oh, it does. It does. And look, I don't know that there's really anything new that's happened in the world other than you got Merkel and Sarkozy getting together, promising to fix things in 3 weeks. What's really wild about the 3 weeks that they're talking about is that takes us right into this October 26th time frame, this next lunar cycle with the new moon perigee and the 17 planetary index date. So it's pretty wild how sometimes that works out. But I'm not forecasting anything, but wild how all that stuff comes together. But Phil, we're just about to go off.
Sorry, but I chased the S&P to the downside for a couple of days anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I mean, have a good stop in place. And
absolutely.
I mean, that's the odds favor that it comes down from here.
Absolutely.
At least gold. And gold has got some gaps underneath here, too.
It does.
They always get filled. They always get filled.
Thanks for joining us, Phil. Thanks for joining us, folks. Stay tuned. You got Tom and myself, and look forward to seeing you in just about 6, 7, 8 minutes. We'll be right back, folks.
Are you looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online